Okay, here we go for round 2. So we're going to look first at differentiating fractions. So when the power is a fraction. So last year we only ever had powers that were whole numbers, and we never had to deal with these ones, but this year you do have to be able to deal with whatever turns up at the top. So we're going to start off with looking at fractions. So if you have something like 3x to the power of 2 over 3, all right, let's say that's equal to y. And we want to differentiate that. We're still using that same thing that I've told you to take the power, multiply by it, and decrease the power by 1. So in this case, we'd take the power, which is 2/3, and multiply by that, all right? And then 2/3 minus 1. So 2/3 times 3 is 2, and 2/3 take away 1 is negative 1/3, all right? And you can leave it like that, that's fine. They don't expect you to simplify things in this paper, they just expect you to show that you understand how to deal with things. So remember that if you've got something like this, y equals 2x to the power of a quarter over 3. This is 2/3 here, so it's y equals a quarter times 2/3 x to the power of a quarter minus 1 is negative 3/4. Negative 3/4. All right, so we've got 2 over 12 x to the negative 3/4, preferably 1 over 6 x to the negative 3/4. So when I say they don't expect you to simplify things, we do expect you to have the right fraction simplified. So that's how we do powers. The next one I want to look at is when we've got negatives. So negative powers. So if we've got a negative power like this, y equals 3x to the negative 2, we want to first of all understand where that's come from. It's very easy to do from here. So we just go y dash equals, sorry, those should both be dashes. Do make sure you put those in. Y dash equals negative 2, take the power, multiply by it, negative 2, negative 6. And negative 2, take away 1 is not negative 1, it is negative 3. Good. So we need to make sure we go in the right direction, always down the number line. That's an easy one, but more likely that question is going to be asked like this. 2/3, something like that, 2 over 3x to the 5. We need to make sure that we can bring this up to the top, all right? So last year when you were doing algebra, you learned how to deal with that. So we want to rewrite it first, always as x on the top, never leaving it down the bottom. So 2/3 x to the negative 5. Now we have y, now we differentiate. So y dash equals, take the power, multiply by it, negative 10 over 3. Decrease the power by 1, negative 6. And the other one that we need to look at is when we have surds. So what are surds? Right, square roots. So we need to make sure that we understand that a square root is a fractional power. So if we've got something like y equals the square root of 525x to the power of 3, we've got to use our algebra to rearrange this and not have the surd. So the square root of 25 is easy, that equals 5. And x to the power of 3, no. This is a square root, so it's 3 over 2, 2 being the square root. So now that we've got that, we can differentiate. So y dash equals, times that, 15 over 2. Right, x, take away 1 from 3 over 2. 3 over 2 minus 1 is a half. All right, So you've got to remember that you've got to write that. So nasty one, y equals the 5th root of x to the power of 6. All right, so rewrite it first as x to the power of 6 over 5. All right, now y dash equals 6 over 5 x to the power of, taking away 1 from 6 over 5, 1/5. All right, so make sure you keep repeating that in your head. Take the power, multiply by it, decrease the power by 1. Take the power, multiply by it, decrease the power by 1. Okay, good stuff, guys.